If you are a fan of action and survival games, you will definitely like zombie fighting games because they always make you feel the excitement inside the game, and in this video I present to you the top 10 zombie games in 2023, so relax and get ready to discover your new favorite game. ZOZ Final Hour, an online game with a size of 3 GB, available on Android only. ZOZ Final Hour is an action and adventures game developed by NetEase, where you travel to the city of San Jaeger to try and liberate the streets from zombies. As usual, NetEase included amazing 3D graphics to really immerse you in the unfolding action through a TPS gameplay. You can turn the camera whenever you need to see the enemies that are hiding behind you. The controls in ZOZ Final Hour are very easy, and you just need to touch the joystick to move your character. ZOZ Final Hour is a shooting zombie game for Android with outstanding graphics and an immersive playability, and I definitely recommend you to download it.
Blood crystal discovered. Go and collect it.
Last Hope 3, an offline game with a size of 500 MB, available on Android and iPhone. Last Hope 3 is an FPS action and adventure game where you have to advance through a city ravaged by zombies. Set in the year 2029, your mission in this game is to shoot all the living dead to clear the streets of enemies. The 3D visuals in Last Hope 3 mean you can see each zombie easily. The game's realism is pretty evident, and both the characters and the settings are displayed in a high level of detail. To move around the city and aim each shot, just tap the on-screen joystick. There are also several action buttons on the screen for reloading ammo, throwing grenades, or using the telescopic sights to reach the furthest zombies.
Stay alert, don't get sloppy.
Fading Earth, an online game with a size of 5 GB, available on Android only. Fading Earth is an action-adventure game where you join a group of brave explorers on exciting missions, and your main challenge is to keep the characters alive while killing all the zombies. One of the greatest parts left Fading Earth is its carefully developed visuals. It also has striking 3D graphics that are often combined with 2D drawings. You just have to tap on each point of the terrain to move your characters in Fading Earth. Keep in mind that attacks are carried out automatically, so you only have to worry about moving each character around. In the end, you will find that Fading Earth is a very excellent strategic survival game, and I definitely advise you to download it. Zombie Horde, an online game with a size of 500 MB, available on Android and iPhone. Zombie Horde is a first-person shooter game where your goal is to wipe out hordes of zombies as they approach. The controls in Zombie Horde are very simple. Your character moves alone around the map as you finish off the waves of zombies. There are several weapons available in Zombie Horde. In addition to your weapons, you'll also have additional support in battle. For example, you can call for an artillery attack on the zombies to make them explode. You can control dozens of different heroes with different abilities and personal stories. This game has plenty of RPG elements, where you can improve each character as you play. Online play with other players is another important aspect of Zombie Horde, since you can make alliances for events and compete to achieve the best score. The Last Days, an offline game with a size of 300 MB, available on Android only. The Last Days is a third-person adventure game where you control a young girl who has survived a zombie apocalypse. In this game, you'll have to advance through the different levels by killing zombies and collecting resources. The Last Days' gameplay is very simple. To advance through the map, simply tap on the different points that appear. In addition to finding objects around the setting, you can make a medkit from plants or ammunition from metal and duct tape. In the end, If you want an adventure game that does not need the internet and is somewhat small in size, then I definitely advise you to download the Last Days game. Dead Effect 2, an offline game with a size of 3.1 gigabytes, available on Android and iPhone. Dead Effect 2 is a first-person shooter set in a space station overtaken by zombies. Your objective is to escape from the space station alive. Before you start playing, you can choose between 4 different characters, each one with a unique ability. As you advance through the story, you can improve your abilities and unlock new powers, making it easier to defeat the zombies you run into. As you play the extensive campaign in Dead Effect 2, you'll encounter all kinds of enemies that only get stronger and more powerful as you go. Dead Effect 2 is without a doubt a top-notch FPS, and I invite you to download and play it.
Escape module.
Dead Trigger 2, an online game with a size of 2 gigabytes, available on Android and iPhone. Dead Trigger 2, the sequel to the original, award-winning Dead Trigger, is here with a new first-person shooter. It's bigger and has even better graphics. The game takes place in a post-apocalyptic world where humanity is on the brink of extinction, and you must fight for salvation. Depending on how well others do on their missions, you can check the progress of the game's story in real time. And of course, you can influence that progress by participating in missions that are exclusive to the story. Dead Trigger 2 is an outstanding first-person shooter with an interesting story that'll keep you hooked on your screen for quite a few hours. Into the Dead 2, an offline game with a size of 2.1 gigabytes, available on Android and iPhone. Into the Dead 2 is a first-person action game where you play as a survivor in the zombie apocalypse. Unlike the first installment of this saga, this installment has an extensive story mode, so you finally learn more about your character. Gameplay in Into the Dead 2 is very simple. On the left side of the screen you can control your character's movement, while on the right you can shoot. The game also supports controllers. Into the Dead 2 is an action game with simple but addictive gameplay and absolutely spectacular graphics. In the end, I invite you to download it. Fading City, an online game with a size of 6 gigabytes, it will soon be available on Android and iPhone. Fading City is an open-world RPG set on the streets of Waidu City, where you help explorers uncover the city's many secrets, and you must fight against the strange zombies roaming around the map and fight to survive and save the city. Fading City has spectacular 3D graphics developed with the Unreal Engine 4 that feel similar to earlier NetEase titles. The controls in this game are perfectly adapted to touch screens. Fading City has everything it needs to immerse you in this world full of mysteries waiting to be solved. This organization of explorers aims to restore peace to this city covered in fog and ravaged by zombies. The game is new and is one of the best upcoming survival games for smartphones. You can pre-register through the link in the video description. Undawn, an online game with a size of 10 gigabytes, it will soon be available on Android and iPhone. Undawn is the new shooter RPG from Tencent and Lightspeed and Quantum Studios. Through spectacular graphics, this title promises immersion in an open world that is being destroyed by zombies and other extremely dangerous creatures. You need to work with your teammates to shoot and destroy all the enemies in different locations while trying to survive in this hostile environment. Undawn has a spectacular visual and audio scene play that will immerse you in an exciting game. As you explore this vast, open world, you need to take the lead in completing missions and using your weapons in an intensive cooperative mode to defeat evil.
I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement.